What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm Alex with Turo Profits, and on this channel I give you guys an in-depth look into my life as a rental car fleet owner. In this video I'm going to be sharing with you a few things you can do to your business today to maximize profit on Turo, making yourself a whole lot more money. Before we get into the video, if you're not already following me over on Instagram or TikTok, even Facebook, make sure to shoot me a follow over there. Tons of behind the scenes content, things that you won't find here on YouTube. So make sure to hit the follow button. And if you're not subscribed here on YouTube, definitely make sure to hit the subscribe button. That way you'll be up to date on all of the new videos and all of the new content I put out here. So the very first thing that you need to look at in order to maximize profit and maximize bookings on Turo is your listing and the description. I know it might not seem like a very big deal, but if your listing does not have clean, beautiful photos that are going to catch the eye of somebody that wants to book it, chances are that guest or that prospective guest is going to choose something else. So if you don't have very good photos, or you know you could take your photos to the next level, definitely make sure to do that as soon as possible. That's just one small thing you could do to get more bookings. This is an example of something that you don't want to do. Stay away from these sort of examples. It's not the type of listing that is going to get a lot of bookings. Rather, mimic your listing to look like some of these. These are a couple listings that I found that have very, very good photos, and chances are they're getting a number of extra bookings because of that. The next thing you have to look at in order to maximize the amount of money you're making on Turo is knowing your price range. A lot of people get onto the platform and they only do research on the exact same type of vehicle that they're going to put on the platform. Meaning, if you're going to put on a Honda Civic, you're only doing research at other Honda Civics that are the same year on the platform. That's not the way you should be doing research for that specific type of car. So what I mean by understanding your price range is a whole lot deeper than just understanding what your exact year and type of model go for. If you do have that Honda Accord, let's stick with that same example. You need to be looking at what utility does that car provide. That car only has 4 doors, it's a sedan, and it has 5 seats, meaning that is what you should be looking at for your competition, not just the Honda Accord. So when you're looking on Turo, you want to look at all of the economy cars that you're competing against. Regardless of the year, you need to be focusing on the utility aspect. So those economy cars, those full-size, small, mid-size sedans are all gonna go for the same price. A 2020 might go for the same price as a 2013. So if you're putting your 2020 on the platform and you're wondering why it's not getting booked up, it's because you're not doing the correct research at your overall market. You're only looking at your specific type of vehicle. The bottom line, it's deeper than what your specific type of car is going for. You need to look at the overall market as a whole. What utility does your car provide, and what cars are you competing against? And another example of that, yes, I gave the Honda Accord example, but another option might be just a convertible in general. So figuring out the floor price for a convertible and the maximum price for a convertible. What type of car is on the high end? What type of car is on the low end? Do you actually compete with it or do you not, right? So the same type of ideology is going to be used to make that decision depending on what type of car you have. So focus on the overall market for what your car is providing as far as utility is concerned, not what your car specifically, year, make, and model is going for on the platform. The next thing you can do to take your Turo business to the next level is putting an extra emphasis on pricing. First things first, you definitely do not want Turo to do the pricing for you, meaning automatic pricing is off. If you have automatic pricing on right now and you're a Turo host, press pause on the video, go to your Turo app and turn off automatic pricing. Turo, if they can be in charge of the pricing, they're going to charge the highest daily rate, and they're not going to keep it competitive for what the market is actually calling for, because if they can charge a higher daily rate, then they can make more money. Bottom line, be in charge of your prices. Do not let Turo be in charge of them for you. Furthermore, you need to figure out the maximum you can charge and the minimum you should be charging. A lot of hosts will get on a call with me and join my mentorship program because they're just not getting bookings on Turo. They don't know what they're doing wrong, and it could boil down to you just where your car is priced, even by $5, $10, $15 on a daily rate, right? So in the beginning, charging a low price just to get bookings is not the end of the world, because if you get a ton of bookings, you then figure out the cheapest price you should be charging for the vehicle, and you can slowly start to increase that price from there. That way you'll figure out what the top end of the pricing is. So when you're setting your pricing schedule on Turo, you need to know the highest you can charge and the lowest you should charge. You don't know those two numbers, you need more data, and you need to get more trips booked in order to figure that out. So like I said, if you haven't figured that out, so that's what you need to do first before you go messing with the schedule and putting random prices. You need to work off data points and set your schedule to reflect them. Generally speaking, the middle of the week, midweek, is going to be the cheapest price that you should charge for your vehicle, and the weekend should be the most expensive price that you charge. So if you know the highest price you should charge, those should be weekends, holidays, dates that are in the most demand to be booked by the customer, and the dates that fall on your calendar. If you're a Turo host, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. There will be days that are just going to be hard to fill, meaning a Monday to a Wednesday, or maybe just a Tuesday to a Wednesday, right? Those gaps are going to be hard to fill. So if you have private rentals to help fill those gaps, that will help tremendously in increasing your revenue. But on Turo, if you can't get a booking to fill those gaps, they may just remain empty, right? Unless you're changing the price. So definitely stay on top of that. So you know a gap needs to be filled, you can change the price to get it booked. The bottom line is, if your car is on Turo, it will book. You just need to perfect the pricing. So figure out the cheapest price you should charge and the most expensive price you should charge. You have your two data points, work off that and start to build out your schedule. Remember, lower price in the middle of the week, more expensive pricing on more demand days and weekends. Number 4, the next thing you should be doing in order to maximize profit on Turo is airport bookings. How far or how close are you to the airport? If you're not getting a lot of bookings and you don't have airport pickup or drop off as an option, you should definitely consider adding it as an option, because most of the trips that are getting booked in any city are coming from the airport. So if you do not have airport trips enabled, meaning the guest cannot book the car directly at the airport, you're probably missing out on a ton of trips and a ton of money every single month. So I know this is not some crazy make or break tip, but it is something very important to know, that the majority of the trips are going to come from the airport. So if you're farther away from the airport, you need to take this into account when you're building your business. And if you're close to the airport, you definitely need to be taking advantage of airport pickup and drop off. And if it's something that you're having to do and you don't have the time for that, you need to figure out a process that you can put in place in order to make those trips happen. As a part of my mentorship program, we help students, regardless of their situation, full-time job or full-time schedule, we help them automate their business and figure out a situation that they can maximize their situation on Turo, as well as expand into private rentals. So I know this video is geared more towards killing it, crushing it, maximizing on Turo, but the overall next step in this business should be transitioning into the private rentals, and that's what the mentorship is all about. So if you're interested in that, there is a link below. Make sure to check that out, fill out the application if you're interested, and my team and I will be in contact with you soon. Number 5, the next thing you need to be doing in order to maximize profit on Turo is making sure you're charging every single guest for overage on mileage and overage on gas. A lot of hosts, even my students in the beginning stages, I'll ask them if the guest went over on miles or if they went over on gas and what they did about it. Remember, there's modules for all that in the mentorship. They were told how to do all that in the mentorship, and I find myself asking them the question over and over, did you get paid for the overage on those? And some people say, no, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. It's just a couple extra dollars. No, that's not how you should be thinking of it. Even if they go over 5, 10, 20 miles, you need to be charging them for it, right? They went over on miles, they went over on gas. If they go over on gas, there's a $10 convenience fee that you can charge them regardless. So you're gonna make minimum $10 profit for charging them whatever it costs to get it refilled. So if it's $50 to get it refilled, you'll get paid 60 bucks. So you're gonna make 10 bucks, right? If that happens on 10 cars, that could be an extra 60 bucks that you're getting, not even including the money that you could be missing out on mileage, right? Think about it in multiples, right? Think about it, right? If you only have one car overage on miles by 20, 30, 40 miles, it doesn't seem like that big a deal to you, but if you can make 10, 20 20, 30 bucks, and throughout the month you do that 5, 6, 7 times, that's an extra 1, potentially up to 5 days worth of earnings and bookings that you wouldn't have got, right? So as you begin to scale your fleet, you need to be putting these processes in place so they're automatic. It's not something that you have to think about. If they go over on miles, you're gonna charge them for it. If they go over on gas, you're gonna charge them for it. So make sure you're getting in the habit of charging your guests for the overage on miles and the overage on gas. Now, if they go over on miles by like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 miles, I'm not gonna charge them for it. So my threshold is 5 miles or less. If they go over by 5 miles or less, I'm not gonna charge them for it, just because it's just a no-brainer. You wanna get the 5-star experience. You'd rather get the 5-star review. But even if somebody did leave a bad review because of going over on gas or miles or damaging your car, that is something that you can get removed. So definitely keep that in mind as well. Last but not least, number 6, another thing that you can do to take your business to the next level and maximize profit is working towards automation. If you don't already use a lockbox for your pickup and drop off, you're missing out. Let me tell you, you should not be meeting with your guests for every single pickup and drop off. That's time wasted. Turo allows for contactless pickup and drop off via a lockbox. In order to do so, usually when you're meeting with your guests in person, you need to verify the ID, take pictures of it, check it, make sure they are who they say they are. But on the contactless pickup and drop off with the lockbox, the guest just needs to upload a picture of the front of their license, the back of their license, and then a selfie of them holding their license in the same photo. Those 3 photos will do the trick. That's how you're gonna verify the primary driver for the pickup and drop off on a contactless trip. The lockbox I use, I'll go ahead and pop it up on the screen. You can find it in the link below. It's on Amazon. It's about 50 or 60 bucks. Definitely get one for each of your vehicles, but it'll allow you to be wherever you want in the world, at work, wherever, and still do the pickup and drop off. Because keep in mind, you can check in a car 12 hours before, up to 12 hours before, and check out a car up to 24 hours after. So if you have a trip come back at 5 p.m. today, you really don't need to check it out until 5 p.m. tomorrow and report that damage on Turo. And as far as checking in the car, if it's going out at 6 p.m. and you're not going to be back from work until 8 p.m., you could check it in at 8, 9, 10 a.m. in the morning, go to work, leave the car for the guest to pick up. They get the key out of the lockbox and they're on their way. So the whole idea is saving you time as opposed to meeting with the guest every single time. So that's going to wrap up this video. I appreciate you guys for tuning in once again. If you got some value out of this video, then I did my job. Make sure to hit that like button so I can keep pushing out more content like this. Drop a comment down below with other video ideas you guys have, as well as any questions you might have about Turo or private rentals, and I'll answer that in a future video. If you are interested in starting a Turo business, I offer a mentorship. I help you get started on Turo, pick out the perfect vehicle for your situation, as well as show you how to transition into the private rental side of the business. My mentorship students profit anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 per month per vehicle. So if that's something that interests you, hit that link down below. There's an application for you to fill out, like I said earlier, and we'll be in contact. That's gonna wrap up this video. I'm Alex with Turo Profits, and I'll see you guys in the next video.